when you have a diet that's really, really high in sugar, you're playing with the hormone insulin. So insulin basically takes sugars and it converts into fat and stores it. And there's just constantly having a high insulin level is very problematic. And then you can get into the diabetes and other metabolic diseases with that. But specifically with cancer, that's where I was focused on with Lander. How do we get the foods in him that he needs, the nutrients, and avoid those sugars, because the hidden sugars are crazy. When you're looking at ketchup specifically, it is typically loaded with sugars, completely loaded with sugars. This is a good little brand that Lander loves, sugar-free, and you've got to watch that. Another one is going to be dairy. Dairy is extremely high in sugars when they start flavoring and adding it. Chocolate milk, because it has as much sugar as a soft drink does. Then when you're getting into that, corn syrup versus lactose, it's sugar. It's sugar. It's still going to affect the insulin. It's going to have negative consequences. It's hidden in everything, so we've got to be super careful. When you look at things, how do you substitute for honey or molasses or some of the other things that definitely have some positive attributes to it, but when we're talking about sugar specifically, what do we do? One of the very first things that I was able to come across was Yacon Syrup. Yacon is a root from South America that's distilled down into a syrupy-like substance that is very high in a prebiotic fiber. It's a FOS. So this is really good for your gut, and then it's very, very good way to give the sweetness that you want from a sugar or from honey or molasses. Something else that we found with this, and it's a natural alternative to other processed sugars, is that it is high in some minerals like potassium. So with Lander, very early on, he had a deficiency in potassium, and they prescribed prescription potassium for him to take regularly. Once we really started to incorporate food-based potassiums like this, we were able to get him off of taking prescription and never had a problem with potassium again. One of the things that I really like about the versatility of this is by just taking a sugar-free ketchup and adding this, it is a great substitute for barbecue sauce, which also has a lot of sugar in it. Okay, when I make barbecue sauce to do some little dinners, I get a sugar-free ketchup, you just put a little bit in there, fill up the bowl, super, super easy. Take a little bit of the Yacon syrup, and it really, really doesn't take much. It's a light and dark brown. Looks a lot like molasses. Take it, just stir it up. You can do this to taste. Depending on what we're eating, we may add mustard a little bit, pepper, garlic salt, garlic powder. I always try to hide turmeric in about everything that we do. It's seriously that easy. I stir this up, make it right as we're serving dinner. It's just super easy.